Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to start off with a sunflower update out here in the Dirtlands. Then we're going to head to the area behind the Dream Stream because we planted a tree out on top of the berm this morning and it looks so beautiful. I want to show it to you, as well as plant a couple of boxwoods back there, and then we're going to plant some containers. First off, our update, look at these gorgeous sunflowers. We planted these from seed on August the 8th. I think that might be the latest I have ever started sunflowers from seed, and it was just an experiment because it depends on the type of fall you have. I mean, sometimes we have fall come early where it gets colder a lot earlier, and this year it's just been very mild, like today's 84, beginning of October. It does look like we have a cold front coming through this week with 5 days of rain, which will be actually very welcome. But I'm just thrilled to see these flowers. We planted this batch here, and then we planted another batch right over there, which that one is Autumn Beauty. They're not quite ready, all budded up. I'll go show you here in a second. But in this area, we have a variety called Gold Light. Aren't these gorgeous? And just the perfect size for arranging. You know, some sunflowers get so darn big, kind of like dinner plate dahlias, where they're just they're hard to work with. They're not as easy to tuck into arrangements, and this size is just perfect. And you can also see on the stem here that they get multiple blooms, which is also very nice. And then on this side of this area, we have two different varieties. There's one called Buttercream, which is a multi-branched, multi-flowered stem here. Love that creamy yellow color. Love it with that dark center. And then the rest was a Florist Sunny Bouquet. It was just a seed packet I had of mixed variety. Aren't these beautiful though? Look at that color. It makes me happy to see all the bees out and about on them as well. So I counted back and it's I think 52 or 53 days from the day we planted these in the ground from seed to today right now. And I just can't believe the growth. Oh, there's one flower in here. Look at that. And you can just see how loaded up they are with buds. So we're about ready to have a beautiful show right here. And our wild row of dahlias. Not staked, just doing their thing out here. Anyway, I was just so thrilled about this and excited to give you an update. So now that we've done that, we're gonna head back to the stream area. Also, look at our zinnias. They are pretty stunning. Look at how gorgeous. I pretty much think anything out here that can survive is pretty amazing. We're about ready to head into the pumpkin patch probably this next week to pick the rest of them. What a mess out here. But what a successful and fun experiment. I mean, it's just wild to think that soil that looks like this white powder, will grow stuff. It looks like nothing would survive in it. Okay, here we are. You can see the stream over here to our left, and we have this berm back here that I was just waiting for the perfect tree to fill the spot. And I was at the garden center yesterday, and this one stopped me in my tracks, like I had to double take, because I really wanted something that was multi-trunk, and I wanted something that would give kind of the umbrella effect to kind of mirror the shape of the berm in a way, but something also that had multiple seasons of interest. So this is a thornless cockspur hawthorn. We've got two of them out in the Dirtlands, but they are single trunk trees, and I've been so enamored with every phase of their growth that when I saw this available in a multi-trunk, oh my goodness, I just had to have it. I picked it up with this spot in mind, thinking I'll put it there, see what I think. But you know, I would love to just have these all over the place if I could. But the second I set it down, I was like, yep, this is it. It's just gorgeous. Let me stand over here and show you. It looks pretty from every angle. Now this tree is hardy down to zone 4, and it will grow average size 25 feet tall by 25 feet wide. But I have seen some sources that say they get a little bit bigger if they really like their spot. So upwards of 30 feet tall to 35 feet wide, which either way works back here. Okay, so if you are standing right here on the patio, we are a little bit of a distance away and there are shadows. I do apologize, so maybe it's a little anticlimactic. But if you can imagine that tree forming up this big, beautiful umbrella over this space, I just think it's gonna be awesome. I also wanted something that wasn't gonna get so huge that it would compete with our Shade Master, because Shade Masters get quite large as well. And they're not that far away from each other, just about right. And let me go over here so you can see it from this side. Oh, it's so pretty. So this one comes out with clusters of pure white, bright white blooms in the spring. And then those are followed by the really glossy kind of deep green foliage. Look at that. It's got a luster. You guys know how I love luster on my leaves. Makes everything look more lush in our dry climate. And then those blooms, those white blooms, are followed by these berries which start off coral pink, like the most gorgeous coral. And then they will deepen, even from now, they'll deepen into a really bright, kind of festive looking Christmas red. And they are persistent, which means it takes the new growth the following year to push the berries off. Oftentimes the berries don't last because the birds eat them. So we won't be left with a mess on the ground. Wouldn't matter in this area so much because we're not walking around. This is not like lawn or a walkway or anything like that, but I still appreciate that feature. And not only the blooms and the berries, but we're gonna have this gorgeous structure and silhouette even in the wintertime when their leaves are not on this tree. So I'm just in love with this tree. It makes me want to get after planting. In fact, we are gonna plant boxwoods at the end of our little rock wall today, which was always the plan. I just hadn't got to it, and this just motivated me. So we've got Freedom Boxwoods. These are the new gens that grow about 3.5 feet tall by 3.5 feet wide. And we are gonna cap this wall. See how we had them make it kind of sharp right there? Well, the idea was always, let me see if I can flatten this out. The idea was always to plant a boxwood right here to kind of envelop it. So we're gonna let the boxwood grow up and kind of around the rock. You won't even see where the rocks end. They will be hidden all year round because that's an evergreen. And then on the other side, let me grab the other boxwood. We need to add a couple more rocks, but same basic idea. See how it tapers? We were gonna do a tapered number, but I think we'll bring up the level to where it just stops and disappears into the boxwood on this side. What's the zone on these? Zone 5? Zone 5 through 8. Oh, it says 4 feet tall and 3.5 feet wide. Okay, I'm gonna use my shovel for this project because I do not wanna make a mess on the mulch. But once we get this done, then we'll go do our containers. I'm gonna start with the 4 around the corners of the Hartley, and then we'll go from there. That looks good. I love it, just seeing that green right there, especially when it puts on some growth and we can get it all trimmed, and it will make the abrupt ending of the rocks not an issue. You won't even question it because you won't see it. Same with the other side. Oh, it's just fun to see some stuff go in. And it makes me excited too to plant along the edge of this right here and just go for it. And it will be a sunny bed for a while. Right now, you know, toward fall, it gets more shade right here. But in the summer, when the sun is a little bit higher in the sky, this whole area is sunny. And it will be until this tree puts on some good growth, and that'll be a while. It's not a super fast growing tree, which is totally fine with me. So we'll get years of sun garden right here, and then we can eventually maybe have a big hosta garden in here. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? I love hostas, and hostas don't particularly love our area, but I keep planting them because I love them. Okay, next project, we've got our big, beautiful kale and some pansies that don't look overly fall in color tone, but that's okay. If they survive the winter, we'll have perfect spring containers out there. The Spartans look awesome too, I love it. at this parterre, still looking beautiful. Beginning of October. These have really been a stunner. These are the classy carmine dahlias with the unplugged blue salvia. And then the sweet romance lavender right in the center there that I never trimmed back after its first bloom. And this is what it looks like. Can hardly tell unless you look really close. And the honeybees are just ravaging the blooms right now. And here's the container, one of the containers we're gonna plant. So we've got some beautiful, whoops. Oh, I'm so glad it didn't land on its top. Anyway, we've got some beautiful pine trees in these pots that we planted in here for last winter, and they've done beautifully. I had hardly any needle cast or anything. I mean, if you look in here, you can find a little bit, but not a lot. They've just really taken to their spots, and I really like the shape of them. I think they're really pretty. They're a bit difficult to plant around at this point, but we're going to see what we can get into these containers. I've got a total of 3 of these kale per pot, and then I think I've got 9 pansies per pot left. And we do have some beautiful things around them. We've got the Alberta spruce we planted last spring. This is one of the mangaves, maybe night owl. It's going to come out of this container here pretty soon so that we can winter it over. And we've got 1 lemon coral sedum in a pot right there. And then we've got the Delta Silver River, which is a new annual coming out next year from Proven Winners. So what the blooms look like. I had some calla lilies in here that just kind of fizzled, so I'm gonna get a big orange pumpkin to pop right down in the blank spot in the center. I'll just nest that in there. And it also has some wire vine in it. I've been very happy with the way these have done. Okay, let's gather up our stuff and get them all planted. Got them all planted. They look really pretty, and I ended up with 3 of the ornamental kale and 6 pansies total. I thought I had enough pansies to do 9 per pot, but 6 is just fine. They're gonna fill in pretty quick, I think. It's just nice to see something fresh in here. And these are the sweetest colors. Look at those. And I love the kale. I love how bold it is. I love the white center because those really shine. And pansies are pretty quick, and violas. I've got some violas in here too. They're pretty quick to kind of fill in and bulk up. All of the pots look the same, so we won't look at each one of them, but we'll take a look at this one on our way out. Also at the other containers we have in here. So I planted this little Japanese maple, and it's doing okay. Oh, that's what's going on with it. Oh boy. It's plugged. It's got standing water. No wonder. Oh yeah, water's coming out. Okay, that's good. Gonna make a little hole there for it. Water's already gone from the top, and I'm gonna leave the drip line out. We'll come back over here and plug it here soon. Oh, I'm glad we caught that. We've also got one chocolate drop coleus. One in a tiny little pot down here. My goodness. It's a gorgeous plant, but you've really got to have space for it. We've also got a plum yew right here, which I'm thrilled that it's still doing seemingly well, even though it's been shrouded by the coleus. We've got a fairy trail fresco, I think, or fairy trail white hydrangea, which I just don't think that these do real well in our area. And then we've got another mangave right there that'll go inside, and our pot looking so pretty. And our annuals are still doing well. We've got the rockin' deep purple salvia and superbena red in here. Really nice. Okay, we've got 2 more pots I would like to get planted. In fact, I didn't even know that we would make it to these 2, so I'm glad. I'm gonna run back to the high tunnel. I think we're gonna go fairly simple. I do have a small handful of pansies left. It wasn't enough to split up between those 4 pots, but we've got 6 pansies here, and I think I'll just grab a boxwood, ring it with pansies, and then maybe a rudbeckia in the other pot. These are semi-close to our back kitchen door, but let's go get our supplies and then we can get those all done and plant it up. Okay, this is what we're replacing today. These 2 containers. We've got a queen tut in here along with some impatiens, and this pot is just pretty dry too. We've got some hippo pink, calla lilies, just everything's looking super tired and spent, and I'm ready for something fresh. And I've been enjoying this little fall area so much. I'm also cooking beef carbonade. It's a Mary Berry recipe, and I've got the kitchen window open and I can smell it coming through the window. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And I don't know exactly how this is gonna go. We need to get them all cleaned out and then we can decide which plant to put in which pot. We have calla lily rhizomes we can save. Well, these definitely look better than they did. So much more clean, a little bit more structure. Love the rudbeckia, it just shines right there. It'll get a little bit of morning sun. It's not a location I could keep it permanently. It's a zone 7, so it's possible it could overwinter. Not likely, but possible. And the boxwood, of course, is one that can stay in there over the winter, and we could come in and put some pansies around it or not. I kind of like the simplicity of just the boxwood in the container, but that just looks a little bit more spruced up and I like it. And I love the fact that our annuals are still overall looking really nice for the first part of October. Kind of a harsh sun line right there, but you can see the Bordeaux, the pinkerific dahlias, just looking so pretty. And I was noticing our incredible hydrangeas. There's one fresh bloom just like shining over here. So funny. And you guys, that is going to do it for today's projects. Love the tree back there. So that's my favorite thing of everything today. That is my favorite thing. I love it. And you know, having the boxwoods there and starting to add to that space, it'll just, I think it'll fill up pretty quickly, really. And then of course it's nice to get pots done here and there. We're just kind of attacking fall containers like that. There's so many of our things that are still looking so good in pots. Like I'll show you, for example, some of the things that it's kind of hard to pull them. The gator's a little in the way, but we've got some really pretty coleus. This is the Wicked Witch coleus. And then, boy, I cannot remember the name of this sweet potato vine, but I love it. Is it Medusa? I can't remember. I thought I wouldn't like it, but I absolutely love it. It creates just like this little umbrella out the side of your container. Have not trimmed it one time, and this is its shape. It's definitely one I will repeat. But anyway, you guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.